With the rapid advancement of AI, the global spreading of digital ID, the perpetuation of the globalist agenda, and so on, we're all theorizing about who's the Antichrist or the false prophet. We're all looking at the news and current events and we're trying to pinpoint the beast system, the mark of the beast. And while as believers we're supposed to be watchful and ready, we're supposed to expose fruitless deeds of darkness, as the word warns us of the signs and the seasons, the things to look for in the end of the age, but meditating tirelessly on these things day and night rather than on the word. Many of us have invited fear into our lives, which is the wrong response. But maybe we've been looking at and maybe we've been worried about the wrong mark all along. While in exile in Babylon, Ezekiel received a vision prophesying the coming judgment of Jerusalem because the people defiled themselves and worshiped false gods. Ezekiel writes, "Then I heard him call out in a loud voice, 'Bring near those who are appointed to execute judgment on the city, each with a weapon in his hand.' And I saw 6 men coming from the direction of the upper gate, which faces north, each with a deadly weapon in his hand. With them was a man clothed in linen, who had a writing kit at his side. They came in and stood beside the bronze altar. Now the glory of the God of Israel went up from above the cherubim where it had been, and moved to the threshold of the temple. Then the Lord called to the man clothed in linen, who had the writing kit at his side, and said to him, 'Go throughout the city of Jerusalem and put a mark on the foreheads of those who grieve and lament over all the detestable things that are done in it.' As I listened, he said to the others, 'Follow him through the city and kill without showing pity or compassion. Slaughter the old men, the young men and women, the mothers and children, but do not touch anyone who has the mark,' sparing those who did not defile themselves or worship at the altar of these false gods, but instead lamented and grieved over the detestable acts and practices." And in a similar vision, John writes in Revelation 7, "After this I saw 4 angels standing at the 4 corners of the earth, holding back the 4 winds of the earth to prevent any wind from blowing on the land or on the sea or on any tree. Then I saw another angel coming up from the east, having the seal of the living God. He called out in a loud voice to the 4 angels who had been given power to harm the land and the sea, 'Do not harm the land or the sea or the trees until we put a seal or a mark on the foreheads of the servants of our God.'" In John 16, Jesus says, "I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I've overcome the world." As believers, as followers of Christ, as those whose names are written in the Lamb's Book of Life, as the elect, as these marked ones, we're not exempt from persecution. In fact, we're promised it. But we are marked as safe from God's wrath, from his judgment of the world. Turn your eyes away from conspiracies and look to his covenant. Turn your attention away from mysteries and look towards the Messiah. Now is not a time for fear, but for faith. It is not a time to flee, but to fight. In Matthew 24, Jesus says to the disciples that he's telling them of the end of the age, "Because of this increase of wickedness, the hearts of many will grow cold, but the one who stands firm to the end will be saved."